everyone, welcome back to another tanning trials video on my channel. So for this week's review, I have been testing out the Australian Glow Express Tanning Mousse as well as the Ultra Fine Facial Bronzing Mist. Now, Australian Glow is a brand that I haven't ever heard of before. Me and my friend Paige just happened to walk past it whilst we were shopping in my local Superdrug. Hey Goyle, if you're watching this. The main reason why I wanted to test out this brand in particular was because I have never seen a brand use a facial tanner that is like in an aerosol form. I've used tanning sprays before and I've also used tanning waters, but I've never seen one that's in like a mist in this kind of capacity, so I was very excited to try this. Both of these items retail for £15.99 in the UK. That kind of for me is like a middle ground when it comes to tan. It's not the most expensive tan I've ever used, but it's also not the cheapest. And I did double check before I did this video because I learned my lesson from last time. They do actually have a mitt that they have with these items, however our Superdrug just didn't seem to have them. As you guys will know if you watched my tanning trials videos before, I do try and keep everything within the same brand, but sometimes that just can't be avoided. So I'll just pop a couple of clips on the screen of what my skin was looking like before I did the tan. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, the clips that you're seeing in this video and the clips that you're seeing like throughout are ones that I filmed weeks and weeks ago, because I'm not gonna lie, basically needed to take some me time and just chill out and like step away. So I have actually ended up using this tan 3 different times in 3 different ways, which could actually mean that you get more of like an overall review from this video, so you can thank my mental breakdown for that. So reading into both of these products, they did actually have different development times when I was testing them out. I did actually end up using the facial bronzing mist the night before because it does actually specify a 6-hour development time, and then I used the tanning mousse the next day because this says that it has a 1-hour express time. So let's start out with this bad boy. I have very mixed feelings about this, mainly unfortunately negative ones. I don't know what it was, whether or not it was something to do with my can in particular, but you'll see through the clips I ended up actually applying this product 3 different times just because it was wrong every single time. I hate how negative this video started out, but as you'll see from the clips, I had real trouble with this. I don't know what it was, whether or not my can was like broken or something, but every time I went to spray it, instead of it being like a lovely even mist, it just came out in like splatters onto my face. I tried taking off the nozzle and cleaning it, that didn't work. I had to go off and rinse my face in between each time. I tried it further away, I tried it a little bit closer, still didn't work. In the end, actually spraying the product onto a beauty blender and tapping it onto my skin, because if it was that there was something wrong with my can, I still wanted to test the product that was inside. However, the formula for the product did feel kind of heavy. Like I found before, I don't know if you guys get it, I have very large pores on my face, especially under my cheeks here, so any type of product that I put on my face that is maybe a bit too heavy for my skin gets sucked into the pores, and that's where it sits. I've had this so many times before when I've used like tanning mousses that are meant for your body. I've applied it onto my face and then shocker, it looks like I've got freckles all over my face because my pores are completely clogged. Unfortunately, I feel like that was kind of how it went, just because the formula was a little bit heavier than I was expecting. For somebody else who has like a different skin type, this may work an absolute treat for you, but just for me personally, it didn't work the way that I would have liked it to. I don't know, maybe if that was because I was tapping it into my skin, but I only used a very light amount just because I know you can overdo it with these things. I've done it in the past, believe me, I know. So unfortunately, I was a little bit disappointed about the application. It ended up being just a dabby situation. I do genuinely think it might be something to do with the can. As you can see, the can over the last couple of weeks has leaked like this, and I don't think that's normal. But yeah, on the whole, I felt very mixed about this product in particular, mainly because of the like splatter situation. Next up, we have the tanning mousse. Like I said, used this 3 separate occasions in 3 different ways. The first time I used this, I let it marinate on my skin for just under 2.5 hours, I believe. It was a nice guide layer to begin with, but then it developed very quickly. Probably like within minutes of it being on your skin, you could defo tell where you'd already put it. It smelled really nice. When I applied it, there wasn't any major streaking or anything like that. However, I did feel as though in some places on my body, I needed to pat to kind of make it a bit more even before I applied another layer. I'm gonna be honest, it wasn't the quickest drying tan that I've ever used, but it did dry down quite nicely so that my skin felt hydrated, but it didn't feel like super tacky. It didn't transfer onto my clothes or anything like that. Later on, I think the 3rd time that I used the tan, I slept in it overnight and it didn't stick to my sheets or anything. Going back to the first time when I let it develop on my skin for just under like 2.5 hours, it rinsed off, the guide layer came off really strong. However, I didn't feel like the colour payoff was as dark as I would have liked it to have been. Throughout the week, it didn't go mega patchy or anything. It wore away quite nicely and very evenly. Towards the end of the week, like the days when I probably should have scrubbed it off, it still looked really nice. So the second time round when I used this tan, I dry, let it develop on my skin for just under 5 hours. The colour payoff was slightly better, but I still wasn't like overly satisfied with the colour. I was kind of like, it's darker than the first time I used it, obviously because it's had longer, but also it's still not as dark as I would have maybe liked it to have been. The same thing happened, it lasted really well throughout the week. Didn't go like tiger bread looking or anything, which is always a really good sign of tan. And then the last time when I used this tan, I let it sit overnight. I had it on my skin for probably, I would guesstimate, like 9 hours. And that was the best colour payoff that I've had out of all the 3 times I tried it on. This is probably, I would say, like day 5 of me having the tan on, and it still looks like really natural. Obviously on my hands, as you can see, it is very much worn away. We are in the middle of a pandemic. I'm overwashing my hands. Unless somebody has just freshly applied their tan, do not trust anyone that has perfect tan like 3 to 4 days after they've applied it, because they are not washing their hands properly. There's no way, no way. Unless they have a really good gradual tanner that's like topping it up on their hands. I don't know, I just wouldn't trust it, okay? But as I said, the 3rd time when I actually used this tan was the best colour payoff that I got from it. It didn't go like really orangey or anything like that. Normally I can kind of tell. I think it sort of had like a slightly green undertone to it, which is always perfect for my skin, because as you guys may or may not know, I am actually naturally olive skinned. As I said, it did take probably about 20 to 30 minutes to dry down to a point where I was comfortable to put my clothes back on, which is a bit longer than I maybe would have liked. But as I said, colour payoff was really good the longer I left it on, as well as it lasted very well throughout the week, which I'm very happy about. I think for myself personally, I prefer applying tan in the evening and let it develop overnight, just because I'm super impatient, and if I'm conscious, I'm like, when can I wash my tan off? Can I wash it off yet? Has it been 2 hours? Has it been 3 hours? Is it ready to come off? Is it too soon? I'm just too impatient. I need to be unconscious to let my tan develop. But if you are somebody that maybe doesn't want as dark of a tone of a tan as I would prefer, or if you're somebody that doesn't like to wait, I would recommend giving this one a go. The facial bronzing mist, I'm gonna edge on the side of I didn't enjoy using this. I don't like it. It may be better for somebody else. It might just be that my can in particular was broken. I don't know. I'm not gonna lie, that doesn't happen very often, but I have to be honest with you guys, I had a real meh applying that. So that was it for this week's tanning trials video, testing out the Australian Glow Express Tanning Mousse as well as the Ultra Fine Facial Bronzing Mist. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure you give it a big thumbs up so I know. It really does help me out a lot. I will also leave links to both of these products in the description in case you want to check them out yourself. Also, next to that, I will leave my social media in case you don't already follow me on those. Links will be on the screen if you'd like to. Also, subscribe to my channel for more videos like this, and do not forget to turn your notifications on to be told every time I post. Thank you so much again for watching, guys. Stay safe, keep washing your hands, just stay indoors as much as possible, and I will see you next week for another video. Bye guys.